Hey, I'm Mr. Williamson, and today we're going to talk about lab safety, or how not to hurt someone you care about, you. The most important job a teacher has probably is to send you back to your parents with all the body parts in one place, in the same place as they sent you to school. So what we're going to take a look at is how to make sure that happens in the laboratory. Probably the first most important thing is follow directions. All right, read the lab. Read the lab. Read the lab. Listen to any changes that I might make during class, and follow them. Follow directions. All right. Use only the materials and the equipment that are authorized by me. I will give you, if we were in school, I will give you the materials that we will be using in lab. Use them. Don't use anything you bring from home unless instructed to. Wear the appropriate eyewear. Most labs that we're doing, I'm going to repeat this throughout this presentation. Most of the things that we're doing in this lab are not dangerous. Honestly, they are. All the materials come from Vaughn's or Costco, except for a few instances. So just make sure that you are wearing the protection that as directed. Most time not even necessary, but once in a while it is. So make sure you wear eye protection. If there's an accident in the classroom, I don't care how small it is, report it. All right. It's mostly to make sure that if anything's spilled, that we clean it up, to make sure that you're okay. Accidents do happen. A lot of them are preventable, but accidents do happen. Let's make sure you just tell me about them. All right. This one's huge. This is like a state law. No eating or drinking in a laboratory. No eating or drinking. No little pieces of candy. No Gatorade. No water. Mostly because you don't know what was in the lab before you. All right, this gentleman here is drinking out of a beaker. It might be perfectly clean, but you don't know that. So no, do not use eat or drink out of the class in the laboratory. If something is not working, and in most cases it would probably be the microscope. Microscope's not working, let me know. All right. You probably didn't do it. Matter of fact, the earlier you let me know, the more likely you didn't do it. Or if something doesn't work right away, I assume that it wasn't working in the beginning. And we wait all the way until the end of the period, then I start thinking, well, maybe you did it. So just right away, as soon as something's not working, let me know. Broken glassware is really hard to hide. The sound of breaking glass in a classroom is pretty obvious. But if something's broken, let me know immediately. We'll clean it up. We'll put it in the right place, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and we'll deal with it. So let me know about broken glass. This is a big one, probably not as much in biology because we don't do a lot of experiments with heat and test tubes and heating test tubes. But don't ever point the test tube at somebody, because what will happen is that as you're heating this, the material inside it will boil, and it will eventually spray out of the test tube and into your eyes or into the eyes of somebody else, and you don't want that to happen. So yeah, don't point the test tube at anybody when you're heating it up. All right. Scissors, scalpels, things like that. We don't use scalpels. We once in a while use a razor blade. But scissors, dissecting needles, they're sharp. Don't be careless with them. Treat them with some respect. Check the labels of the chemicals. There sometimes will be chemicals in several different bottles. Make sure you have the right chemical. Again, in this class, in biology, there's not much of a danger of mixing chemicals together and coming up with a bad reaction. But if you're in chemistry or some other class, the wrong chemical could cause a problem. So make sure you're reading the labels and follow instructions. The teacher, in my case, me, and in other cases, some of the other teachers, should be aware and make you aware of the chemicals that could be dangerous. I think the most dangerous thing we use is probably vinegar, so which can cause eye irritation. But you should be notified of that. So make sure you know if the chemicals that are being used are hazardous. All right. Never pour. If you pour out too much from a reagent bottle, a storage bottle, don't pour it back into the storage bottle. That contaminates the entire storage bottle. It's kind of like your milk in your cereal. If you put too much milk in your cereal bowl, you don't pour the milk back into the carton. You might throw it out, but you don't pour it back. Don't pour, if you use too much from a storage bottle, don't pour it back. When you're handling chemicals, keep your hands away from your face, eyes, clothing, because if you're having the chemicals on your hands, you don't want to get transferred to your face or your eyes. All right. Don't ever taste anything. I don't care if we were using vinegar or if we're using something that like it says it's from Vons or Costco or wherever I get it. Do not taste it. Do not taste it. Once in a while, we will, if we're in class, we will be dissecting things. Once in a while, I'll instruct you to rinse them because they start to get a little smelly. Basically just to rinse off some of the chemicals and things like that are released, all right? Here's one that I didn't think I'd ever have to put into a slideshow. Don't bring me animals. Don't bring me poisonous plants. Don't bring me any plant if I'd prefer. And the reason I have a rattlesnake is because one time a student brought me a rattlesnake in a jar, handed it to me and said, "Here, Mr. Williamson, my dad's a landscaper, and I caught this and thought maybe you'd like it." And it was a baby rattlesnake, and I don't want rattlesnakes in the class. Cleanup. The areas in the floor need to be kept clean of laboratory equipment, chemicals, and actually, hopefully, backpacks and things. The area that you're working in should be clean so there's no chance of people tripping or causing an accident. Anything that is spilled or if there's a mess on the floor, you need to clean it up. We all take care of the classroom. I'm not responsible for it. I don't have any one student. We're all responsible for the cleaning and safety of the area. All right. And as we go through the labs, I will tell you how to take care of waste product and things. For instance, I'll probably say this again. Rags that might have flammable chemicals should be put into a metal or crockery pail. Matches, which again we don't use in the class, matches would be put into a metal container. Paper into the trash, liquids into the sink, and then glassware we'll talk about later, like right now. Broken glassware will be put into a box that will be in the back of the room. We do not throw broken glassware into the trash. The custodians don't want to reach into a trash can because sometimes they don't replace the bags, saves money. Don't want to reach into the trash and cut their hands. All broken glass goes into, or old glass that we're getting rid of, goes into a box that will be in the back labeled glass. It will look kind of like that. Have a plastic bag in it, and at the end of the year, we get rid of it, and actually through the state system. We will not leave the classroom until the area is absolutely clean. So make sure that you are helping clean up. When I say it's time to clean up, and I almost always give you 10 minutes to clean up. If there's 30 of us, it takes no time to clean up. Everyone is responsible. Don't sit and expect your friends to do it. It's not the way you treat friends. If I ask you to, I will ask you to wear apron and gloves. I'm not going to ask you, so let's not talk about it. In the chemistry classes, you might. I don't know. Eye protection is meant to be worn on your eyes. For instance, over your eyes, not down around your neck or up here and protecting your hair. The whole idea of this is to protect your eyes. And that's pretty much it. Most of this is really just common sense. What I need you to do is be safe in the laboratory. So follow the rules, follow directions, use common sense. This is not a time to screw around. It's not recess. You're no longer in elementary school. So just be smart. All right? That way none of us gets hurt. We all get to have fun doing the labs. And that's it. If you have any questions, make sure you refer to the safety policy that were given in class, or ask me. I'll be glad to answer your question. Have fun.